Today I discuss with you a very important genus of your syllabus, that is Osmunda. As you know very well, there are some category of fern belongs to leptosporangiate category, and some fern belongs to eusporangiate category of the fern. I have discussed already with you that on the basis of the development of the sporangium, the fern has been divided into two very clear category of the plants, that is leptosporangiate fern and eusporangiate fern. In case of leptosporangiate fern, the development of sporangium take place from any single cell of sporophyll or leaves. On other hand, in case of eusporangiate fern, when the development of sporangium take place from a group of sporophyll, is known as eusporangiate fern. Osmunda is so interesting one. The order Osmundales is so interesting one order of fern because of in this order the some characters belongs to leptosporangiate fern and some belongs to eusporangiate fern. So it is a very interesting one fern in your syllabus, because in Osmunda the development of sporangium in between leptosporangiate and eusporangiate, because of the starting of sporangium take place from the single cell, but the whole development of sporangium does not take place from this single cell. So the Osmundales, the position of Osmundales order is placed in between leptosporangiate and eusporangiate category of the fern. There are some characters of Osmunda which belongs to eusporangiate fern are the development of sporangium and the development of the anthridium as well as archegonium is of eusporangiate type. The presence of stipule-like expansions at the base of each petiole. Next, internal structure of petiole, endodermis, is not clear. Next one is anthridium are large in size because of they having multi-layered anthridium wall. On other hand, in Osmunda, some characters belongs to leptosporangiate fern, that is origin of tapetum from archisporial cell is very similar to leptosporangiate fern. Next one, presence of primitive type annulus in sporangium, very similar to leptosporangiate. Next one, presence of thin-walled stomium cells. As you know very well what is the annulus and stomium cells. The presence of stomium and annulus cells is the character features of division Pterophyta. At the point of stomium cells, which are thin-walled cells, the dehiscence of sporangium are take place always. Next is the Prothallus lac endophytic fungus. There is no relationship between the fungal hyphae and Prothallus take place, such as in leptosporangiate. Next one is Prothallus is heart shaped. In all leptosporangiate fern, Prothallus are heart shaped. And last is the first division in zygote are vertical. In all leptosporangiate, the first division in zygote is vertical, while in eusporangiate fern, the first division in zygote nucleus take place by transfer valve. So, today we discuss the order Osmondiales, and this order is so interesting one because the some character of this order belongs to the leptosporangiate fern, and some character of this order belongs to eusporangiate fern. In order Osmondiales, according to Pichi Sermoli, there are 3 living genus. One is Osmunda, second is Todia, and third one is Leptopteris. In this order, there are 3 living genera have been reported by pteridologists. One is Osmunda, second is Todia, third is Leptopteris. According to paleobotanists, in this order, there are 3 fossil genera have also been reported. The member of this order known as living fern. The member of this order also known as living fossil, because mostly the member are living and some member of this order remain in the form of fossil. So they are known as living fossil. In this order, the most studied fern are Osmunda. So today we discuss Osmunda. The common name of Osmunda is a royal fern. It is also known as royal fern because of its form and texture. Because of Osmunda form and texture is so unique. It is very beautiful plant. Its texture and form is so unique as compared than that of other fern. So it is known as royal fern. So it is known as royal fern due to well texture of the plant. It look like beautiful. It is very beautiful plant. So it is known as royal fern. If we are talking about the systematic position of the Osmunda, it come under group Pteridophyta, division Pterophyta, subdivision Pteropsida. It come under, as you know very well, order Osmundeales. It belongs to family Osmundaceae and genus which we will discuss with you, Osmunda. If you are talking about the distribution, habit and habitat of the Osmunda, it is widely distributed genus and found in both tropical and temperate region of the world. According to Smith, it is a famous one tadologist. It having near about 12 to 14 species in India. The common species which have been reported in India are Osmunda regalis. This species of Osmunda known as royal fern. Second one common species of Osmunda are Osmunda claytoniana. And third one common species which have been reported in India are Osmunda cinnamomea. Out of these species which is common in India, Osmunda claytoniana is very common at higher altitude in northern western Himalaya. Mostly the species of Osmunda grow where their moisture and shaded habitat are available. The Osmunda are abundant mostly in northern western Himalaya. It is also growing abundant along the slopes of hills and also exposed place at Kedarnath, which is in Uttarakhand, at altitude as high as 10,000 feet. It grows on very high height, near about 10,000 feet. It grows at a height of 3,000 meter in Simla. It has been reported in Simla near about 3,000 meters on height. So this is some information about the habit and habitat and their distribution in world as well as in India. If you are talking about the external features, the plant of Osmunda are very beautiful, sporophytic, which is differentiated, well developed root, rhizome, stem. All the species of Osmunda are medium sized, but some species of Osmunda such as Osmunda cinnamomea may reach up to 3 meters in height. Mostly the species of Osmunda are medium size. They are medium size fern. Before explaining the external morphology of the plant, we have to see the picture of the Osmunda. It is a picture of the Osmunda claytoniana. You may see in this picture that the plant of Osmunda is sporophytic, which is divided into root, rhizome, and aerial shoot. The rhizome is subterranean, half portion of rhizome mostly exposed to air, and mostly the portion of rhizome remain inside the soil, and from rhizome towards lower side there is a developed root which function as absorption of water and minerals, and it is also help in fixation of plant with substratum. From rhizome towards upper side, positive geotropic portion of the plant, that is known as aerial shoot, known as stem, also develop. In some species of Osmunda, the aerial shoot having dichotomously branched lateral branches, but in this species of Osmunda, you see in picture that there are two types of leaves are developed on both sides of the aerial shoot, on the both sides of the stem. So the species of the Osmunda may be monomorphic regarding to the leaves. The species of Osmunda which have only one type of leaf known as monomorphic species, and the species of Osmunda, mostly the species of Osmunda having two different types of leaves, two different tendency of the leaves. One is the sterile leaves, which is also known as sterile pinnae, and second is fertile leaves. As you know very well, on sterile leaves there is no developed sporangium, there is no developed these leaves don't involve in the production of the spores, while on fertile leaves there is a developed sporangium and it is directly involved in the development of spores. As you know very well that the Osmunda is medium sized royal fern. Mostly the species of Osmunda is medium size. The some species of Osmunda are woody in nature. The stem become woody due to unnatural secondary growth. As you know, in some fern, due to unnatural events, some specific cells behave as vascular cambium and they produce wood, such as in Angiopteris and Osmunda. Some species of Osmunda are woody in nature. If you are talking about the leaves of Osmunda are green, large, pinnately compound. There are pinna है ना, pinnately compound. Mostly the leaves are large, photosynthetic, pinnately compound. But at young stage, the leaves are coiled and circinate. These are the root from rhizome. Adventitious root is developed, which is hard, tough and brown in color, and the main function of root is absorption of water and minerals from the substratum and help in proper growth and development for plants. And side by side they help in fixation of plant with substrate. The rhizome is subterranean underground part of the plant. Some portion of the rhizome remain exposed to air and mostly part of the rhizome remain underside the soil. The leaves are succinately coiled when the osmunda is young. And at mature stage of osmunda, the leaves become pinnately compound. As you know, the member of division Pterophyta have mostly large and pinnately compound leaves, like in Marsilia, है ना, and other member of this division. Some species having the unipinnate leaves, such as Osmunda claytoniana, and some leaves having bipinnate, two pinna in Osmunda regilis. The leaves of Osmunda cinnamomea are large and may reach up to 3 meter in length. So leaves are so important portion of the plant which directly involve in the reproduction. Because of at the margin of the petiole, remembered it, at the margin of petiole of the leaves on both sides, a group of sporangia is developed on fertile leaves. In Osmunda, remembered it, a group of sporangia not from sorus. As you know, the presence of sorus is the character features of division Pterophyta, but in case of Osmunda, sori have not been reported by pteridologists. So this is the picture of the plants of Osmunda. If you are talking about the reproduction, as you know very well, I taught you Xylotum, Isoetes, Ophioglossum, 3 living member. Same here. Mostly the events is very similar in all the fern, but there is some difference. You have to concentrate on the differentiation. The plant of Osmunda is homosporous. In case of homosporous, what happens? The spores develop within a sac-like structure known as sporangium, which develop on underside or ventral surface of the sporophyll, in which a lot of same size and shape of spores are developed. So Osmunda is homosporous plant. Remember it. Osmunda is a homosporous plant. The spores are produced within sporangia that are not arranged in defined sori. मैंने आपको already discuss कर दिया. There is no production of sorus. So it is not a perfect, not a advanced fern under the division Pterophyta. The presence of sorus represent the higher character of the fern and are usually marginal in position. In Osmunda regilis, which is also known as royal fern, the fertile pinnules are restricted to the distal region of the leaf. So the sporangia develop at the margin of the leaf Now I want to share with you the development of the sporangium, how the development of sporangium and Dehn cells take place in Osmunda. A mature sporangium of Osmunda regalis are most studied structure of Osmunda, which is a massive short stalk, it having a short stalk, and its structure is pyriform. It is pyriform in structure. If you are talking about the development of sporangium concentrate on this line. The development of sporangium is very interesting because of the development of sporangium is intermediate between eusporangiate and lactosporangiate. It means in case of Osmunda, the whole development of sporangium from sporophyll does not take place from a single cell. At starting of sporangium, the development of sporangium is of lactosporangiate type, but later the development of sporangium also involved like in eusporangiate fern. Some portion of sporangium develop from single cell of the sporophyll known as sporangial initial cell, and some portion of the sporangium develop from adjoining cells of single one. So the development of sporangium in Osmunda is so unique type. It is very interesting. Development of sporangium is so interesting one. It is very important events which take place in Osmunda, that the development of sporangium is intermediate between lactosporangiate and eusporangiate. The development of sporangium in Osmunda has been studied very well by Bower, 1895. According to Bower, at initial stage, if you are see the development of sporangium in Osmunda, according to Bower, first of all, a large functional superficial cell of sporophyll involved in the development of sporangium, which known as sporangial initial cell. At initial cell which participating in development of sporangium is known as sporangial initial cell. Now this cell undergoes periclinal division and produce towards outer side jacket initial cell. As you know very well, jacket initial cell after repeating division produce sporangium wall, and towards lower side it produce archisporial cell. Now this archisporial cell directly behave as primary sporogenous cells. These cells is also known as apical cell. It is inverted triangle cells, tetrahedral cells. देखिए inverted tetrahedral cells है. This archisporial cell behave as tetrahedral cell. In Osmunda, these cells may be tetrahedral or cubical. Mostly the tetrahedral shape indicate the leptosporangiate character, while the cubical shape of these cells indicate the eusporangiate character. Side by side, Jacquet initial cell undergoes the anticlinal and periclinal division and develop sporangium wall. The whole development of the sporangium does not take place from this single cell. So the development of spore mother cell is of leptosporangiate type, but it has been reported by Gower that the whole development of sporangium in Osmunda is so interesting one because of the stalk of sporangium develop from neighboring cells of sporangial initial cell, a group of neighboring cells of sporangial initial cell. So this indicates the leptosporangiate type, and when a group of neighboring cells of sporophyll involved in the development of a stalk of the sporangium indicate the eusporangiate type of development. So the development, you can say the development of sporangium take place by two types, leptosporangiate as well as eusporangiate. There are both the type of events take place in sporangium only in Osmunda. It has been reported only in Osmunda. The development of sporangium is always intermediate between leptosporangiate and eusporangiate. You may say that some portion of sporangium develop as eusporangiate type and some portion of sporangium develop as leptosporangiate type. Now from primary Jacquet initial cell there is a developed antheridial cell, sporangium wall, in which tapetum layer is formed towards inner side, and side by side this primary sporogenous cell, which is tetrahedral, undergoes division in all possible plane, and after repeated division, after differentiation of this cell, there is a mass of sporogenous cells. Now the mass of sporogenous cells further undergoes differentiation and directly behave as spore mother cell. Which is 2N, which is always diploid in nature, because it developed from diploid part of the Osmunda, that is sporophyll. Now each spore mother cell undergoes reduction division and produce tetrahedral haploid spore. If you are discuss about how the dehiscence of sporangium take place in Osmunda, it is very interesting one. In Osmunda, at the margin point of sporangium, a patch of thin walled cells develop in the form of annulus. So the dehiscence of the sporangium take place from annulus portion, this region, at annulus region. As a result, the sporangium wall become burst, become dehiscence, and sporangium open towards upper side. The mouth of sporangium up open, such as the open mouth of snake. The ruptured sporangium is just similar to, look like to open mouth of snake. As a result of all the spores become free and fall on suitable substratum, and after dehiscence of spores they become germinate in presence of moisture. As you know very well, after germination of spore there is a production of prothallus or gametophyte, on which male and female sex organ are developed. So this is the information about the development of sporangium in Osmunda, which is very interesting because some development of sporangium take place by leptosporangiate type, and some development of sporangium have been reported by Bower is very similar to eusporangiate type. So this is the development of sporangium in Osmunda. It has been reported by Bower that within a single sporangium there is a developed 32 to 128 spore mother cell. Within a single sporangium there is a developed 32 to 128 spore mother cell. As you know very well, if you see the structure of the sporangium wall, the inner wall of sporangium is known as tapetum layer, which is, you may say, which is known as the kitchen of the sporangium. The cells of the tapetum region having the abundant amount of carbohydrate, protein, lipid, minerals, amino acid, vitamins, and provide this food content to spore mother cell during sporogenesis. So in Osmunda the tapetum layer is so well developed, which play as nutritive tissue and provide food content to spore mother cell time to time. So this is the development of sporangium in Osmunda.